Do you smell what the albino gorilla's cooking? Rampage! Released in 2018 and is directed by Brad Peyton, who's behind such films like Journey to the Mysterious Island and San Andreas. And of course, this movie is starring Dwayne Johnson, Naomi Harris, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Hopefully one day we will get that Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Paradox movie that he should be starring in. Rampage is based on the 1980s video arcade game of the same name, where a gigantic gorilla, a wolf, and an alligator fight each other and decimate an entire city. And that is basically the same thing that we have here, except now we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And Dwayne Johnson plays a animal expert slash ex-Marine who is like the best at assimilating themselves into a gorilla collective. Yeah. In other words, this movie is based on a video game, so you can't have that too high of expectations. We want to make a movie about a gorilla, a wolf, and an alligator fighting each other. How else can we sell tickets? Let's just put The Rock in there. Because The Rock is franchise Viagra. Take any old franchise or any old film, you put The Rock in it in like a sequel or like kind of like a not-so-sequel, but like a distant cousin, and yeah, it's rejuvenated tremendously. The Fast and the Furious movies, the first four, yeah, they did okay and they were popular, but once The Rock hit with number 5, that franchise took off. Look what he did with The Journey to the Center of the Earth. Look what he did with Jumanji. Look what he's going to be doing with Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. There is a reason why he has that nickname. He is a master at marketing himself, putting himself in roles where he knows he can shine. He doesn't have to... It seems like he doesn't have to try too hard, he can just be himself. Plus he knows how to find those roles where he can be a huge, jacked up, superhero-looking type dude, and we would go, yeah, okay, I buy you as that. Here, he's a gorilla man, and he is as buff as a gorilla, so yes, I buy that. Now, I've never played the arcade game of Rampage, so I really don't know if there are, like, hidden things in this film that attribute them to the old video game that fans of it would go like, oh yes, I needed that. If I was going to get a Rampage movie, I needed this to be in it from the game. I imagine, since it's an arcade game, that there's not a ton of that in here. I know that the evil boss lady, I could see it in the background, she had a Rampage arcade game just in the middle of this multi-million-dollar office. It's just... There's this arcade game right over there, ironically enough, called Rampage, the same name of this super serum gas thing that they're creating to get money. It's never explained how this evil boss lady and her company get the money to fund this, because they're doing this in outer space, and they never explain like how that happens or why they're doing it. They're splicing all of these like evil genes of all of these animals that we know in the world today, putting it all together into this gas. And if other animals smell this gas, well, they start growing and they get angrier and ragier and then they fight. And I don't understand what is the purpose and benefits of said fighting. I know what the benefits are when it comes to the film studio. This is a summer blockbuster CGI fest just meant to be something that you shove popcorn in your face, you go in, you have a good time, and you don't think about it at all, really. But if I'm trying to put myself into the mindset of the evil boss lady, why is she going through this? All of these events and all of these animals who are growing that accidentally smell this canister, she's acting like she planned all of it. And I don't know why. I want to know why. But do I really? It's a movie called Rampage, where a gorilla, a wolf, and an alligator just fight each other. Maybe I don't. If we're going to talk about character and plot when it comes to this movie, we are all going to be very, very disappointed. There's nothing to this movie. It's, hey, we have this big space explosion, and then we're going to have a little bit of exposition with our lead characters. We need to know a little bit of backstory about them, and then we're just going to go from one CGI fight to another CGI fight to another one, with The Rock being his super electrifying, charmingly dashing self. And if you don't think about it at all, I think you end up having a good time. Will people be talking about this CGI fest for years to come? No, absolutely not. This came out in 2018. It's 2020, and I think everyone has already forgotten about it. Pretty sure I purchased this movie on the Black Friday of 2018, and I kind of forgot about it. It's just a generic action flick with a ton of CGI in it, to which the CGI is actually very impressive at a lot of times. When we look at the original CGI gorilla, the albino gorilla, whose name is George in this movie, I think he looks very, very impressive. The hairs that stand up, all the imperfections that he has with his chest and with his face, I think is actually very beautiful. As he gets bigger and starts tearing down buildings, yes, you can tell these are CGI creatures, and my believability is wavering. Alligator scales, fur starts looking a little too clean. It's almost like the CGI artists put a lot of their effort into the first parts of this movie, and then when we were getting to the big CGI fest at the end, everyone was like, oh, we gotta rush to get this done. Plus, I think they pulled a lot of the old computer programs and renderings of the gorilla that they used for King Kong. As I'm looking at George, I'm thinking they reused a lot of stock imagery that they had when it came to King Kong back in 2005. This is Warner Brothers. They have that in their archives. They definitely pulled from it. I think Rampage is a fun film. If you're going in to watch a movie called Rampage, I think you have an idea of what to expect, and it's exactly what you get here. Nothing surprising at all. In the grand scheme of video game movies, I mean, when it comes to video game movies, you get a lot of shit. So if you're going to put Rampage into that collective, Rampage, I think, is going to be near the top of the best video game pictures that have been released. If we're talking about films in general, no, Rampage is probably somewhere below just average. I'm gonna give Rampage 2.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I found that if you have a goal, that you might not reach it. But if you don't have one, then you are never disappointed. And I gotta tell you, it feels phenomenal.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos, where I pick which movie I'm gonna be watching next. The next one comes as a recommendation from one of my subscribers, Alan Squires. You recommended Midsummer. Is it Midsummer or Midsommar? I keep hearing when people talk about it, they say Midsummer, and I look at the spelling and I go, it's Midsommar. What's going on here? I have not seen this movie yet. I've heard nothing but great and creepy things about it. It's from the director of the film Hereditary, another movie which I have not seen before, which I also think is a recommendation from one of my subscribers. We'll get to it eventually. But I know this film is starring Florence Pugh, which I have become a big fan of recently, so I'm excited to check that one out. Thank you, Alan, for the recommendation. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please leave a comment below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. So guys, have you seen Rampage? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out with growing the great community that we have here at Caleb Watches Movies. And if you have friends, if you have family members that love hearing people talk about movies, send them over my way and have them hit the subscribe button too. And remember, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will reward everyone by recording myself watching a film that scares me to death, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid, a movie called Arachnophobia, which is something I have and something that I really don't want to watch, but if I record myself watching it, all of you are going to be entertained. Me? Not so much. So hit the subscribe button. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Midsommar. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.